Hey everyone, welcome to kind of like a different video that I'm doing, and this is kind of like a tips, like a starter tips guide for new players, right? So this is not a complete guide. This is not. I have not finished the end game. This is not like this isn't like the complete 100% guide or anything. I am still discovering new things in the game as well. But there are a few things that I thought I would have liked to know when I started the game, right? So the game is still relatively new. People are still figuring things out. So I thought I'd make this video of a couple of stuff that I wished I knew when I was playing the game, right? So diving right into it. So number one, first thing is you need to remember that this is still a launch build, right? It's still a version 0, and the game feels a little bit quite stable, right, compared to something else. Like, I mean, there aren't too many bugs. It's not like game breaking bugs, but they have made put an exclamation over here saying that there is an issue observed where save data might disappear in single player or multiplayer online. So with that in mind, right, you need to take this into consideration when you are playing. So far it hasn't happened to anyone that I know, so it seems to be all right, but you need to be wary of this. So in case you do lose it, I mean, yeah, that is a bit shitty, but there's nothing you can do about it, right? All right. Second thing, all right. So you can either play on a multiplayer server, or you can start your own single player. Uh, you can host your own single player server, right? Or you can actually try and even create a dedicated server for people to play on, right? A multiplayer dedicated server. So one thing you need to know is that if you start a game or join any server, whatever character and save game you create on it cannot be imported into other servers, right? So think of every world. So it's not kind of like an Ark where you can import your character save data from one server to another, right? So your progress, you'll need to start from scratch. So for example, so this is the Vista Archipelago. So this is what I created when I started my single player thing. As you can see, it's running day 24, and my level is 19. So this is my progress here. I cannot use my player here. I cannot use him and join a multiplayer server area over here and expect to have the same progress. I will be starting from scratch. So that is a good thing to remember in case you want to play with friends, right? So if you want to play with friends, if you want to have an equal progression, and you guys, so what you, as of now, right, you guys need to start together, right? Either join a server together, but here's the other thing, right? So servers are kind of laggy at the moment, right? Because they did not expect this high of a load, this massive player base to start playing the game, right? The servers are quite laggy. So these are the servers in EU which are closer to me. The ping is 2020, yeah, but still once you start playing it, it's quite low. And The FPS is 6 to 7 FPS, so the FPS is quite low. It's much easier. You get a much smoother experience when playing single player, when you're playing in a single player instance, right? Um, so that's how you can click this, and they will tell you how to set up a dedicated server. Sometimes the community servers, these all create a dedicated servers, they might perform a little bit better. I'm not too sure, I haven't tried anything, but I've connected to all the official servers, and yeah, it's not exactly easy to play. But and the other thing is, like, I've played quite a bit on the single player instance, and like the progress I have in that, it's a bit of a pain to start from scratch, right? But it's perfectly fine. You can go meet other players, play with them, and all is handy dandy, right? But if you do not want to play with other players, you can freely start up your own single player instance, and you can have your friends join you on this instance. Like, you can have three other friends. So from what I've seen, the capacity is up to four, right? So including yourselves, that's four. So you can have three other friends join you in your single player server. So for now, that seems fine, right? But the problem is, unlike in games like Lego, where you can give like a an access key to your friends, they cannot join this server when you are not online, right? You literally need to be online. This is still an early access, and I would expect them to fix these kind of issues at some point, where you can import your save data to other servers so you do not lose your progress, and where you can give world keys to your friends for your single player instances, where you can, uh, allow them to join the world at any time without you needing to be online, right? So, uh, yeah, so that's pretty much for the world setup. And then when you create a new world, you can give your, if you're creating a single player instance, you can create your new world, give it any name. And the important thing is, like, when you want to turn multiplayer on and off, this is a little bit bugged, right? For me, when I started creating it and I wanted to allow multiplayer, it wouldn't let me create, giving me an error code. But once you create the world, you can edit it back and you can switch this back to multiplayer. And the difficulty is quite simple, right? So you can choose to have a very smooth experience, or you can go hardcore, right? Where you have where players, take more damage, deals less damage. Upon death, all items and pals are dropped, so you don't need to worry about. It's not like you lose everything; it just drops where you died, and you need to go back for it, right? That's what it means. And yeah, I mean, that's about it, right? And then you can pretty much do custom settings as well. So you can fine tune whatever you like. So the maximum number of pals who can work in your base, maximum number of guilds, the death penalty, what do you drop when you died? Do you enable raid events? So raid events means, like, enemies attack your base. I would keep this on because it keeps things spicy, right? So that it's not too stale throughout the day. But they do not attack your base if you are not at your base. They only attack when you are at your base, right? So do not worry about that. So you have a whole bunch of stuff. You can so the structure deterioration rate, right? So I mean, structures will deteriorate over time, so you can choose, like, not to deteriorate, or you can choose to, like, give it a normal deterioration rate, right? So all that is done. So once you start your server, so just like me here, I'm going to show you a little bit of the things that you can do. It said fail to host multiplayer session. Yeah, exactly. See, it gives that error sometimes, but yeah. All right, so this is the place where I start. So the next thing is where you want to set up your base, right? So when you first start the game, you'll be asked to spawn in several different locations. Where do you want to spawn? It was either here, Plateau of Beginnings, then you have a spawn point here, somewhere near the beach, somewhere here near some archipelagos, or somewhere here around the mountains, right? I have not visited all these areas, but what I would suggest is, I think from what I've seen so far, it's very easy to spawn here, Plateau of Beginnings. I think that's what it means as well, right? Plateau of Beginnings. Like, this is a good start point, because, like, you have a lot of resources around. It's very easy to find. It has a very convenient location to build a base right here. So I mean, you can quickly build your base and get started, right? Because it has all the resources: lumber, wood, rocks, you name it. You have space to build anything, and it's very convenient. You have, like, a lot more rocks and resources down here, a lot of pals roaming around this area. So it's a very good starting point. You can get quick started on a lot of things, and yeah, it's easy, right? So the location is right here, Plateau of Beginnings, and you can, like, easily build a base. There are, like, a couple of flat lands around the area. You can build a base, right? Next thing, you need to focus. I think the first thing you need to focus on is on. So the tutorial will help you, get started, build a small workbench, get a few spell spheres, and then, catch a few pals and get started. I think the first thing you need to focus is on base sustainability, right? So base sustainability is, like, where, you create. So basically, your pals will be hungry, right? You will be hungry, your pals will be hungry. So what you need to do is, you need to, like, put up. I think you need to focus on building some basic structures, and then quickly you need to get the garden plots, right? So that is, I mean, the wheat plot will come later, but what I would say is, try to get the berry plantation first, right? So you put a berry plantation right here, and then you get, like, a pengulet, like a watering pal, a seeding pal, like these lift monks, a watering and a seeding pal. So then they will just keep planting the seeds over and over again. That guy will keep watering the seeds, and then they will harvest it, and then they'll just carry it over to your food storage, right? So this creates a sustainable base, so your pals can feed themselves, so you don't need to worry about food for them, right? So what I would say is focus on a berry plantation. You don't need wheat. This comes much later, right? You can the wheat plantation comes way later in the game. Once you level up, you can get the berry plantation quite relatively quick. If I remember, it is berry plantation was somewhere. Where was berry plantation? Is it is it unlocked straight off? I can't even remember. Oh, here it is. So you get it at level 5. You get the feed box at level 4. You get the berry plantation at level 5. So yeah, focus on the berry plantation. Get a seeding lift monk. So basically, when you go to lift monks, you can see when you go to your pals, right? You can see what can they can do. They can do planting. They can do lumbering. They can do medicine production. So take a look at the stats. What I would say is like get a watering one, right? So just like Fuak or Pengulet, right? They have this thing called watering, so they can water. And I get something like a gummos because these guys are close by. They do planting as well. So get like a gummos and they do planting, and then that guy's water, and then something like a chicken or something, a chickpea, like those guys. Like these guys are the quick ones you can get because they are everywhere. So these guys, they do transporting and handiwork, so they help you build stuff and they will carry stuff around. So they'll carry the berries around and put it in storage. So then your pals can feed yourself, and it's a less of a headache. Trust me, it's a less of a headache once your pals can feed themselves, right? You don't need to focus on them. Right. Next thing is you need to build a ranch. I think a ranch is really important, right? Put a box, always like when you build a structure, put a box next to it so that they can quickly carry the stuff over. It's do not bother about organizing boxes, because your pals will like quickly fill every box up, put random things in, and it's going to be very chaotic trying to build stuff, right? So always put a box, I would say, next to a farming type structure. So put a ranch, so something like a sheep can just graze around it and they'll drop wool, and you have like an endless supply of wool, and yeah, it's all good, right? So look at this, like wool, cloths, like all kinds of stuff. So like I would say that just focus on the ranch, and then on the berry plantation. Lumber mills and stone mills can come later because you already have a lot of trees, and these keep respawning, right? So you do not have to worry about the respawns getting blocked. They will keep respawning. No, despite that, I mean, like I built my house right here, right, somewhere here, and there were some berry seeds. There were some berries. They keep respawning underneath the house, so you can keep collecting them. So it's not much of an issue, right? It's not. Let me just organize this for a bit. There we go. Yeah. So you can keep replanting. So do not worry about blocking spawn rates, spawn points, but just because you place a structure, these trees and rocks will keep on spawning, right? So there are some rocks here. Everyone will farm. So you can get some these Cativa guys to start farming rocks. Like they also around everywhere. So yeah. So focus on that little bit of base sustainability, and then it'll be a less of a headache. You can like venture out, no problem. You can leave your base for a long period of time, and you won't get any alerts or anything that your pals are hungry. Uh, Next thing is, I think it's quite important to get this at level 4 as well, the alarm bell, because you can, if your base has been attacked, you can use this to trigger your pals to alert state, and like so, right, like so. And then if there are any enemies, they'll come and attack them. They'll be on an alert state, right? I think it's very important. Setting up walls can come later, because when you start early on in the game, the enemies that attack you are quite weak, so it's not too big. You can build up walls later. That right. So focus on those. Right. Now let's get into the whole XP side of thing, right? It's very important that you capture pals rather than killing them. Killing them is fine, right? But you get a lot more XP as you capture pals, right? So what you do is you quickly smack it and bring its HP down low a little bit. Now this guy's running away. He's running away. I'm trying to show it to you, but he's running away. And that is a perfectly good example. Always unequip your pals when you're trying to farm other pals, right? Because they will accidentally kill it, right? Otherwise, you need to be really quick, get a quick strike, and then quickly throw your ball. Otherwise, your pals will always kill them. So if you have a pal equip that helps you, make sure you unequip him. And if you have some pals who, like for example, these pals, like the pals I have right here, like this guy, they have this passive where they'll always appear next to me, right? So if you have that passive active, I would say get rid of them. I mean, like, or walk around it, um, or just put them back in base, so that you can just focus on like getting a pal and not killing them. So let me try and show it to you again. So what you do is you quickly take a quick swings, and yeah, my pal killed him again. Okay, this is a bit annoying. So the pal that comes into your battle, I can unequip him, but the ones that with a passive that stays next to you, you can't unequip them unless you put them. So far, uh, because like there's no way of unequipping them other than removing them from your party. So let's try this guy. 1, 2, and this guy still keeps screaming. Okay, I'm just going to throw the ball much earlier. Right, so 1, 2. I did way too much damage. So the bottom line is what I'm trying to say is capture pals rather than killing them, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so capture pals rather than killing them, you get a whole ton of more XP and you get more resources, right? And they'll get sent to your storage. And if your storage, and if you feel like your storage is accumulating a lot, you can go to the, you can look for a village, right? There are some human settlements nearby, and you can just either sell pals from your storage, right? Let me just close this for a bit. Where's the, how do you close this? Interesting. Oh, there you go. Oh, you have to, okay, so the trigger point for that is there. Hey, I discovered a new thing just like your, okay. So when you go to your pal storage, right, you'll discover these things easily. So you'll see all these pals that you capture getting accumulated here. Once you get the meat cleaver knife, which is this, right, once you unlock the meat cleaver knife, you can either choose to butcher these pals, right, so you can capture them, get the resources, and then bring them to base, butcher them, get more resources. You can do that, or you can just keep them around and sell them off to a merchant, right? If you, once you find a human settlement, so they're like pal merchants. You can buy pals off of them, so you can sell some couple of these guys, and then buy merchants off of them, right? So you can choose to do whatever. So that's all good. And then do not be yeah. So when constructing, do not be so. A lot of people are wondering whether you can pick up and place objects again. You cannot do that. But what you can do is you can deconstruct stuff. So if you build something, let's say I accidentally build, I'm going to build this foundation right here. So yeah, so I built this foundation. It cost me 2 wood, right? So now I have a foundation right here. Do not be afraid to deconstruct, right? So to deconstruct, you go back to your build menu, and then there's something called assembly mode right here. You click that, and then you can click on stuff to start deassembling, right? You can click on things to start deassembling, right here, and then you deassemble it, and you get 100% of the resources back. That is what I've seen, right? So do not be afraid to deconstruct. If you place something in the wrong position or something, just deconstruct immediately. You'll get 100% of the resources back, and yeah, you can carry on. So my last tip is going to be, do not be afraid to explore, right? Especially this first starting area. You'll find a lot of pals, right? A lot of pals around here, and they are not non-aggressive. So once you have a few pals in your, oops, sorry. So once you have a few pals in your party, just get them to follow, get them into your party, and then allow them to help you up. You can level up with your pals as you capture pals. So go around here. What I would say is, like, because in this area you would find a lot of a lot of lamballs, cativas, chickapees, live monks, foxbarks, tansies, pangolins. So just go capture these gum moss. So these are the basic type of pals that you need to get your base sustainability going, right? To get the farming going, to get the mining going, those kind of things, right? So then later on you'll find a lot more. You'll run into pals left and right, all of the place, right? So don't be afraid to explore. Uh, just bring their HP down to low, and then throw a pal sphere at them, and then catch them, right? So these guys with the passive, right? So these guys with the passive. So the only way to get rid of them is to do this, like so. To unequip them there, and then put like two guys here, for example, like, and those guys will no longer follow you, right? And then yeah, let me show you that quick. Let's look for an easy guy, something small. There we go. There's a no. So these kind of pals, some of these pals only appear at dark, so it switches between night and day. So what I don't have any pal equipped, no one is around, so I can focus. So if it's a tough pal, you can use your buddy to help you. Yeah, he killed him again. So if it's a tough pal, like a really tough pal, not as someone as weak as this, you can use your buddy to help you bring his HP down, and then quickly unequip your buddy, then quickly unequip him, then you can toss your pal sphere him. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start. There we go. There we go. Oh shit, I accidentally killed it. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me try this guy. Alright, there we go. Throw the ball. Nope. Throw the ball again. There we go. 100% capture rate. As you can see, like, you know, the capture success, you get a ton more XP, right? Ton more. I'm going to use my pal and kill them all. And you get a ton more, you know. Like, compared, like, if my pal kills this guy, right? He's going to kill him now. There we go. He killed him. So what do we get? So we got like a little bit of fiber. We got a lot more XP from letting the pal, from us capturing it. So it's always nice to capture pals, is what I say. So yeah. So that's the basic starter. So that's what I would say is the basic things you would need to know just to get started, especially when you want to play with your friends on how to deal with the server related stuff, how to play with your friends. Make sure you guys play on the same server from day one, because you cannot import save data as of yet. Hopefully this video helps you all. So yeah, do not be afraid to explore. You'll find a lot of like boss type dungeons, right? You can tackle those later, but like, and you can I'll make a video on those kind of things later. Those are like more advanced stuff, but I guess this is what you literally need to start off, because I did not need to leave this area, right? I did not need to leave this area for a while until I got my base sustainability up, because otherwise, yeah, base sustainability is key, because like every time you leave your base, someone goes hungry in there, especially if you don't have like a constant food source. So people go hungry, pals die, and you know, all kinds of shit happens. So yeah, this area, so yeah, building a base in this area, beginners plateau of beginnings, right, may make sense. You have a lot of resources around. Base sustainability is easy to put up as well, and then you can explore a little bit in this area. Like, don't be afraid to go around here. A lot of like easy pals to capture. A little bit of boss pals, like indicated here, are around, but you can work around it, right? It's not an issue. So I hope you guys, I hope you guys find this video very, very informative. I hope it helps you, some of you all, to get started on the game, right? I will say this once again: I am not an expert. I'm not a pro. I'm not a proper pro. I'm not even sure if I can call myself a pro yet. I'm just a level 14 guy who have made some progress in the game so far. Thoroughly enjoying it, and I've had some experiences when I first started the game. Like, I watched like other people's tutorials, and a lot of it is about the inner game mechanics, like on stuff you can do and things like that. But so, especially the server stuff, no one talks about the server stuff. So I thought I would highlight that a bit, and just so that you can. A lot of people like me, I try to start playing with my friends, and we started playing at different times, and we realized, like, especially that bit where we could not play together because we could not import our save data, so we need to start from scratch in someone else's server. One guy needs to start from scratch, right? Someone needs to start from scratch, so things like that, right? So hopefully you guys find this video informative, helpful, right? uh, and yeah, I wish you guys a good luck in playing this brand new game. It is an awesome game. I can just tell you that I've had a blast playing it so far. It is amazing. It's like a breath of fresh air, I would say. And yeah, hopefully, let me know what you guys think in the comment below. If you guys want some more information or anything, don't be afraid to ask me. I'll try and help out as much as I can within what's in my knowledge so far. And yeah, till then, I hope you guys have a good day and enjoy Palworld. Till the next video, then. Bye bye.